And with that, we may be able to see the Fnatic teleport strat coming out. Snoopy, obviously it's going to be all the cards pulled out here, but you can do all the homework you want on it, but it's not as easy to play against.
Yeah, but the one thing we have to realize is the teleport actually puts you at a weaker advantage in the lane 1v1 matchup. And for example, White is dominating Peke in mid lane. Top lane is actually a bit even. Godlike did good in game 1, but Soaz actually did good in game 2. So I think if we're going to step in with Peke picking up teleport this game, I think he's really going to struggle in that mid lane matchup, and it better pay off.
And finally, and really, they haven't allowed them the time to use that teleport strat. No. The lane phase is simply not last long enough.
We'll see what they have for each other in picks and bans. Quick 2 killers coming out on that ban list.
All right, so here we go. Back to game number 3 of RYL Club versus Fnatic. RYL Club up 2-0. This is going to be the final nail in the coffin. If they win this game, Fnatic has to win the next 3 if they want to go to the finals here. So same bans coming out of RYL Club. Lissandra, Cassidy, and Shen. Keeping those ones. Not going for the Orianna ban, and I don't know if I like that. Orianna has been crushing them. Last game, it was a little lackluster. White's missed some shockwaves. We'll see if that maybe put him off of it. Oh, never mind. They picked it away from him. Fnatic picked it away from him. Duh. That was the other option. So it was either ban it or pick it away from them. They are first pick, so they're just going to go ahead and, of course, pick it away from them. So very nice job there. Getting Whites off that little comfort zone, we saw it work pretty well in the SK Telecom versus Nudge Blacksword game, where Nagne was just doing wonders on Gragas, so they just, hey, let's just take him off Gragas, and then he just didn't do that well on his Ahri. So we'll have to see what Whites pulls out here. Fnatic still going for pretty much their comfort picks here. Cyanide going to be getting his Aatrox. Does very well on it, so is, of course, getting Zac again. Let's see what they can do there. So who are they going to play in middle lane? He's hovering over the Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate has that global presence. It works very, very well, if you can get the ganks off. But I don't know. I just don't feel like that's definitely White's. I don't think that's White's style. And they're actually not going to pick their mid laner. They're going to save their mid for last. Godlike, of course, able to get his Renekton up in the top lane. Definitely his favorite champion to play up there. And meanwhile, they pick up Corki for Uzi. Tabe is going to be playing the Lulu, and Lucky's going to be having that at least. But the last picks are going to be Varus and Leona. That is some serious lockdown. That is a lot of lockdown, and I'm really liking Fnatic's team comp for this. And I definitely agree with the Gragas pick right now. They just need this disruption, because if they don't have it, they're going to get rolled over by Zac and Orianna. So Fnatic has a very strong teamfight composition right now, with just Zac, Orianna, or even Aatrox, Orianna. Shoot, even Leona Orianna. Orianna has just so many methods of just ball delivery system. But with Zac and Orianna, they just lock them down forever, get a nice solar flare on it, and then just damage just comes out from everybody. Varus just keeps them locked up. But I mean, this just requires perfect coordination, which Fnatic has. This is just a Fnatic team comp right here. No teleport is going to be coming in. You're actually seeing Peke even taking Barrier. Does not want to die to that Gragas early on. But White's on Gragas. I haven't personally gotten to see it yet, but I'm excited to see it. Excited to see him play something else other than Orianna. His Orianna has been great. He just completely destroys in the lane. To see what he can do on this Gragas matchup here. Definitely going to be, hopefully, a very strong showing. But again, this is game number 3. Fnatic back against the wall here. They have to win this matchup, or these next 3 games, to go to the finals here. Whereas RYL Club only has to win 1. So it's a lot of pressure right now on Fnatic. RYL Club have a few games to work with here, and hopefully they can close it out. RYL Club has had a very strong showing as of these past several games. Along with the quarterfinals, they had a very, very strong showing there as well. RYL Club, again, looking just so terrifying. And I mean, if I were SK Telecom, I would be just taking notes on this game so hard, because you're playing one of these teams in the finals. And there is just so much to learn from this. RYL Club is putting it all out there on the table. Fnatic hasn't had a chance to run their teleport comp. Getting rid of that, just Lissandra and that Kassadin, has just been so extreme. They're just not able to run that just assassin catching type, diving the backline plays that they usually do. Zac is the next best thing, of course. Able to get in there. He's a very nice tank. Able to get a lot of disruption in. But I'm very surprised that the same band's actually coming out from Fnatic's side of things. Vayne, Annie, Zed. But here we are, getting into game number 3. This is going to be a game to watch here. Again, I'm JKdaPlague casting this game. You can catch these games pretty much on Riot's Twitch channel in the archives there. I'm just doing this as a fan cast. This is unofficial. Sorry for no sound, but I have to eliminate the casters. This is, of course, live. I am recording this live, watching the stream. And if you are watching, my chat seems to be down. If you are watching me, just please turn on their stream as well so you can get the ads in, so that way they get their income as well. But here we come. RYL Club already coming in. They're going to get spotted by this ward here. Not going to get that same level 1 fight that we had in the second game, or are we? Fnatic getting just sitting in this bush here. They might wait for this the last second here. Oh, the Spider's actually going to catch them. They're coming in. There comes the ultimate out from Cyanide. Not the ultimate, but the knockup. White's taking so much damage. The Ignite not going to be enough to kill him, though, unless they can get one more auto attack out onto him. Uzi trying to run away here. Cyanide's super low. I don't think his passive was popped. But there we go. No kills actually going down. Just a lot of damage and a lot of summoners. Godlike 0 summoners. Tave forced to flash. White's forced to flash. Yellow Star only used Ignite. Soaz only used Ignite. So overall, a better exchange unless Cyanide's passive was popped. But I do not think it was. Lucky is going to be forced to do this. Never mind. They're going to be there in time. So are they going to go for the 2v1 lane matchup? Actually, they are both heading, swapping lanes here. Very interesting. Renekton would rather go up against Zac anyways. Corki Lulu, you know, it is scary going up against the Leona. And, you know, Varus has the long-range poke. But I feel like Renekton definitely, I mean, with Zac can handle a 2v1 fairly well. He just can deal with it. So Godlike, they're expecting the 2v1 matchup, but he leads some experience there because they're expecting the 2v1 matchup there. So that is very unfortunate for them. Not going to be getting that 2v1 main matchup that they wanted. So Corki, he's going to have to just to farm his level 6, and White's already going aggressive on the Peke. Peke has to be careful. Gragas is just one of those champions that you can just get in there. Uzi with a nice bit of poke damage onto that. There is no healing on Pushu. He probably has that 1% life steal that you get usually. Or not that 1%, that 4% lifesteal that you usually get. And White's just continuing the aggression here. Pekka getting taken down so low. And White's, remember, he does not have flash. A gank from Cyanide here after he does this blue buff. And yeah, Cyanide's passive actually was popped. Very nice there. So that means that gank for him, it's even more dangerous now until they get it. So Peke not being proactive with those shields. White's is just kind of bullying him here in lane. He's got him pretty pushed far up. He's got a pretty big minion wave here. So Pekka is going to be forced to use some mana to really farm this wave that's coming up. And we will up top. Uzi is just doing a very good job of just keeping Pushu down here. As we look at the CS, it is 12-6. He's already gaining that CS advantage. Granted, there is still a huge wave there that Pushu is going to be able to farm. But he's already gaining that nice CS advantage over Pushu. To see what he can actually do with it. Renekton, meanwhile, is keeping just Zac at his tower. Everybody just putting pressure on the lane. Cyanide has to pick one. And this is just what some people do. They just put pressure on everything. Godlike can do this. He is on Renekton. He has methods of escape. But there's just 2 leaps here. And Cyanide looks like he might make his way down bottom lane. After he takes down those golems, he should be level 4. No, actually he's going to head back and not going to go for the gank. Going to go buy items, see what he decides to get. He does start out with that Doran's Blade. Maybe he goes for those boots to help out a little bit. No, he goes for the second Doran's Blade. He's looking to deal the damage in his first gank. He wants to be able to get that first blood for his team, and they haven't seen him for a while, so RYL Club has to be wondering where he is. They don't actually have the greatest ward down. They don't have any wards down at all for RYL Club, and so this is very dangerous. A Cyanide gank here would just spell disaster for one of these lanes. Just start snowballing. If you look at the mid lane, this one's definitely going much better for Peke. He's using a lot of mana. White's, you know, very low on mana as well, but it's definitely going, you know, completely different than the last time, where Peke just was not able to do much at all. Just completely zoned out and just not able to do anything. But here comes Elise. She is kind of making her way middle. Gragas not quite level 6 yet. Can't go for the super hard engagement, but can go ahead and take this chance to go back. He pushed his lane. And Lucky's got to find Cyanide in the jungle, and Lucky's a level behind Cyanide right now. Cyanide has just been doing a good job of farming. He wants to wait for his passive just to come back up. Oh, and they come onto Uzi. Uzi's going to get all these passives from Leona procced onto him. He's forced to cleanse the Ignite. Did he cleanse? Yeah, he did cleanse. Uzi taken very low here. Tabe's doing the damage when he can. He's going to take a couple shots to the tower, but he did get them very low. Remember, Pushu and Yellowstar, they still have flash up. They still have their summoners available to them. They can go aggressive on Uzi, and yes, Uzi is going to take this opportunity to actually go back. He does not want to stay here. Tabe, oh, and he's going to get away. It's no problem. Yellowstar almost checked that bush at a very nice time. That definitely would have been a dead Corki there. Playing with fire. Godlike and Soaz just kind of just duking out up top. Again, you know, this is pretty much a farm lane. Soaz really heals up quite a bit at his tower. Godlike getting him some nice damage, though. And doing a good job of just, you know, getting rid of the bloblets when he can. But again, Soaz able to, you know, just completely, you know, just heal up. He is going to be winning this lane very shortly. He does have his dominance available to him. Soaz is not quite level 6 yet. And again, he could be going aggressive. There's the level 6 now. Coming out from Soaz. And looks like here comes the lane swap, followed up by it. Getting ready for this dragon to come up. Tabe gonna go up top, so we're gonna be seeing just a 2v1 lane matchups coming in very at a odd time here. Oh, Godlike caught behind enemy lines. He's gonna get slowed here. He's doing what he can to Cyanide, but Godlike is just in danger here. There's Soaz gonna be able to come up with a hop leap as well. Not actually gonna land here, but Cyanide gonna take first blood and the dragon after that as well. The Shockwave pulling Whites back in. Tower not gonna aggro onto him though. He's looking for the damage. Peke's not gonna be able to find that kill, but Fnatic going to be able to pick up the first dragon of the game, along with the first blood, and they're going to come out looking very strong in the beginning half of this game. Corki and Tabe trying to push this thing down. Uzi wants to get that tower damage, but I don't know if they're going to be able to take it this early on in the game without that much damage. Let's see how low it is already. It is, yeah. Well, they might be able to get it. Nobody is really coming up. They have a pretty decent-sized minion wave. So this tower should actually fall down here. At least get it down very, very low. But Fnatic just running with their momentum here and just taking the buffs away from Royal Club as they secure that blue buff. Got to be able to get the timer on it. And it looks like they're barely not going to be able to do it. Instead, they're just going to tank a little bit. So as is going to start coming up here. So they do manage to trade Dragon for Tower. Going to keep themselves as much in the game as they can. Keep that global gold down to a minimum, and that global gold deficit down to a minimum. And as we actually look at the CS between Varus and Corki, Uzi is doing very well in CS. And this is just what they've been doing. Uzi and Tabe have just been dominating their lane. There's a nice cocoon going to stop Cyanide from really getting in there. Tabe, he's on the wrong side of this fight. So as coming around the back side, they're actually going to force Royal Club off of this blue buff. They wanted to try and get it as they lost their own, but just the movement from Fnatic, really well done. The Yellowstar roaming down into the middle area really could have stopped. I'm pretty sure that just stopped them from even doing that outright. So Fnatic going to be able to get this blue buff for themselves as well. Are they going to give it to Peke as well? Peke is doing it. It looks like Peke is the one who is going to take it. Cyanide has the enemy blue buff. White's pushing the lane, doing what he can here. Might see a potential roam. No, looks like he's just going to go ahead and take these these wraiths here. Actually going to clear him here. This is actually pretty dangerous for him. Cyanide's going to come around right around the corner right as he comes in. Ooh, White's kind of behind enemy lines here. They're coming in. There's the shockwave. He flashes it. He's forced to flash it there just for the wraiths. Not a very good trade there for him. So there's his flash down for Gragas. He is winning by CS by 10. But with that flash down, it is going to be a very big deal. A very nice shockwave coming out from Peke. Fnatic, again, it's only a slight lead in this game so far. We're back to our regular lane matchups. Renekton's going to be able to completely push down this top lane. He has the magic resist going for that Spirit Visage very early on against this Zac here. And he wants to keep that going. You're seeing Zac, he's going for that Sunfire, of course. Wants to maintain that extra damage. But Pushu taking a lot of hurt here. Getting put down to quarter health. He was ignited on Tabe, going for that extra damage with the ignite stuff and some of that healing coming out. Pushu, not sure how many health potions he actually has, but Lucky's starting to make his way down as well. There is no ward in this bush. There's the ward. It is not going to land the cocoon. Yellowstar, he's got the red buff ticking on him, though. He's got the damage. There comes Uzi over the wall, forces the flash out. There comes the ultimate out from Pushu. Repel coming down, not going to do anything else. And here comes Cyanide. He's coming around the backside, but this is going to be bad for him. They need to wait for Peke, and here he comes. Peke's coming around. Lucky just gets bursted down. Tabe takes over the tower. Uzi on the backside. There's a double kill for Cyanide. Can this be the triple kill? Looks like he wants to give this kill to somebody else, but he takes it with the red buff. Triple kill for Cyanide. He is now 4-0. He is a fed Aatrox. And just look at this. Just the perfect knockup, knocking up Tabe and Lucky as just the damage comes in. Zenith Blade misses, but Tabe just takes a lot of damage. He takes the tower. Uzi looking for an answer, looking for something he can take with him, but he just doesn't have it. That's a triple kill for Aatrox. Those are 3 assists. For Varus, unfortunately only 1 assist for Leona. But just a very well played just gank. Pekka came down but was not even needed there at all in the slightest. So Royal Club have a pretty big uphill battle for them. They have a 2k gold deficit right now. And can they find anything? Cyanide is just so strong right now. Cyanide kind of getting a little spotted out in the jungle. But it should be okay for them. Cyanide wants Godlike's just keeping it from going back. Godlike's wasting as much time as he can, but I mean Godlike's not able to do much himself at this moment. So he stops him from going back a few times, you know. Keeps him out of the lane for a little bit, you know, makes him farm his jungle a little bit more. It works out. A little bit of wasting time works out. I mean, he got those creeps anyways that he wanted to get. But the big story is bottom lane. Uzi winning in CS, but now those 4 assists just really just slingshot Varus, just, you know, even with Uzi, and especially with that dragon that they picked up. So Fnatic with that gold lead, Varus, you know, will look strong here. Cyanide just having the presence of just those ganks, and this is just the power of Aatrox. You know, he is just one of the, I think he is the best jungle Aatrox just in the world. He just does so well on him. Cyanide understands Aatrox just completely. His passive was popped early, waited for that to come back up, and it still hasn't been popped yet. And Cyanide is just so strong right now. If you look at his items, he got the double Dorans, and he has the Spirit of the Elder Golem. Lucky is down here as well as Gragas, so they're trying to make a play down here on the bottom lane. Orianna was farming the top lane, pushed it out a little bit, but she's not going to push it to tower. We might see a 4v4 fight, but they have to catch somebody. No, Gragas and Lucky are going to head and leave, but Cyanide with those boots of mobility is just so terrifying. They cannot do anything with him in that lane. He can just easily just get an engagement on there completely. And with Summoners up for them, Dragon, of course, is going to be up as well. That's why both teams are down here. I don't think that Royal Club has the team fight to really take them down here. It would take a very nice pick of some very nice Gragas maneuvers to really do much here, as Fnatic begins just to continue to push down this bottom lane as they start to maneuver onto Dragon. Everybody is here. There's going to be a big wave brewing, so they don't have to worry about top lane. Royal Club does not have to worry about it. Fnatic doesn't have to worry about it. The question is can Royal Club get a good engagement on this as they start it up? They don't have a pink ward on it. They don't have the vision control, so it's very dangerous for them to do it. Uzi's going to go back here. He does not get spotted. At least everyone's choosing to go back here, actually. They're slowing down this game. Fnatic does not want to start a fight. They're very scared of just getting just owned by Gragas here, despite them having a big advantage on Cyanide. Cyanide is pretty much like another person. He has the tankiness, he has the damage just to do so much. But they said they're just going to take buffs. Dragon is still up. Any pink wards coming out, Tabe did pick up a pink ward. Going to help clear out that dragon, get that vision control. This next dragon fight is going to be very important for Royal Club. If Fnatic gets this dragon, they will have a commanding lead. If Royal Club can get this dragon, they will maintain their even spread here. But Fnatic is just going to push down this middle tower. They're not even going to be going for this dragon. Godlike getting zoned out by that Orianna ball. You don't want to be next to it. It's just free damage, but Tabe kind of catching out Cyanide. Uzi coming around the side. Cyanide can easily turn around. Soaz getting closer. Going to slow down Uzi. Cyanide super low as they continue to chase on the Soaz. Oh, he flashes out of the shockwave, but Uzi's not in a good position right now. He finds Soaz. He's going to be able to burst him down. There comes the Solar Flare. Going to stop all the damage. They're trying to do what they can, but Royal Club is just in a commanding position for this fight. Everything is down for Fnatic. They are doing what they can. Can they find the damage? Peke using the shield on himself. He has that blue buff. He has the cooldown reduction. He has the mana. Nobody going down just yet here. Passive still up for Soaz and Cyanide. Whites does not have his ultimate up just yet. Ultimates were burned that fight. The only one left up is Dominus. It's going to be a duel for this dragon buff. Who's going to get it? You're seeing Zonic coming out from Grags. He's trying to do what he can. Here comes the Dominus. He's heading straight for Peke. He's getting there. Who did get the dragon? At least finalizes it. Godlike is forced out of the fight. He's too low. Cyanide super low, but he has his passive up and he has a pretty big blood well up. White is still full health. He's got that blue buff. He's got the method of chasing. He gets another barrel onto Peke. Can they continue this and make it a tower? Everybody's still up for both teams. Nobody went down in that fight despite so much engagement coming out here, and they might be able to pick up this tower off the back of it. Royal Club looking for it. They have the damage. They have the minion wave coming up. 5 members are there, but here we see him. Soaz and Yellowstar coming on the backside. There comes Whites with a... Oh, he misses the barrel. The casket not going to land. There comes the Cocoon, but Cyanide coming on the backside. He's full health. No, Godlike is going to fall. They're continuing. Lucky's now going to be the next one. Uzi did find his death. Tabe got dragged from the backside as well. Lucky has the red buff ticking onto him, and there was just a big misplay from Royal Club, sticking around a little bit too long there, allowing just Fnatic to heal up. Cyanide coming back with full health, full damage there. And now Fnatic's 8-0. They're going to be able to take down this tower themselves. Yes, they lost the Dragon. Solar Flare coming out yet again. They're going to be able to pick up this tower if Royal Club was not able to pick up their own. Big misplay there from Royal Club. Royal Club missed a good opportunity there. Got a little bit too greedy, and here we're going to see it. White's missing that, and then the awful casket. The shockwave just pulls in Tabe. Uzi just get taken on by the flank. Tabe goes down, and they're just able to continue it. They picked up Godlike. Tries to get out of there with the flash, but Lucky just has no luck in this one, and he's going to go down here. Red buff ticking is just too much, and that was just a big blunder from Whites. 8-0 in kills, even in towers. It is a big 4,000 gold difference at 17 minutes in this game. Hopefully they can pick up the objectives where they count these towers. Royal Club has definitely been very good at pushing down these towers throughout this series. They're not going to be able to get this one, but they're going to keep up the pressure. Varus still has no kills. They have to bank on that fact that, Varus hasn't been getting the kills. He doesn't have the maximum gold that he would have. But he's still getting some really good damage on the top. And Peke's coming in for the gank. Ooh! It does not land. The worms miss. Pushu whiffing that would have definitely been a kill there. As they continue to push down this middle lane, Royal Club definitely wants this tower. They need the global gold. They are so good at pushing down these objectives, and you have to commend them. That even though they're behind, they are just so good at putting pressure on that. A nice Cocoon going to stop Yellowstar from any engagement that Soaz is around the backside. As the pings are coming out on the blue buff, Uzi is getting pinged on. Uzi has got to be careful here. Yellowstar finding Lucky here. Lucky is in danger. There's a nice casket going to stop it. A repel coming right in onto Soaz. Not sure if that was really good. There comes a shock. We're going to pull Lucky right back in. The repel dodged the knockup, but then he just didn't do anything else with it. Lucky making a little bit of a mistake there, jumping right back in onto Soaz. Not sure why he did that. Uzi's going to be able to secure that blue buff. Not going to be in danger, though. Not going to be able to catch him. So they saved the blue buff from Fnatic, but they lost a person in the meantime. But Uzi is still doing a very good job at farming right now. He's got that Trinity Force. Greg is, again, still keeping up in farm. The CS is even, pretty much, except for the junglers. The junglers have it, a pretty big difference right now with 20. But everyone else seems to be pretty even. You can see 10. Even. For Royal Club. Everything else seems to be okay for Royal Club in the CS department as they pick up the second tower of the game for themselves. Lowering that gold count to only a 3k gold difference. But Tabe is going to get caught up by Soaz. There's a knockout coming out. There's Cyanide picking up yet another kill. And these supports, unfortunate for them, they just get caught out just trying to get these wards out. They walk through so many just to try and place them. And just the desperation for Vision. Lucky getting caught out once again. What is Lucky doing here? Fnatic is just having the time that they need. Pushu picking up his first kill of the game. He's got that Bloodthirster now. He's got his first item completed. And I'm not sure what Lucky was even doing there. Soaz getting caught out the leap, not going to do anything. He's going what they can. Soaz is still very tanky. There comes the casket, going to knock him back. After that, Cyanide going to be able to get out of there. Going to flash over for him. Not sure that was the best decision there. They're still looking for him. Godlike continuing the chase through the Baron. Not going to find him. He's just constantly getting slowed as they're going to be looking to turn the Godlike. It does end. The Dominus goes on cooldown as they continue to put the pressure on the top on this middle lane here. They did push people back. They should be able to get it. There comes a little bit of zoning out from Whites with his exploding barrels. They do pick up the third tower, so they're managing to take towers where they need to. Keep that global gold coming in to them. It is 3-2 in towers. Their bot tower is still alive for Royal Club. So all tier 1 towers are gone. Dragon's going to be coming out in 30 seconds. And again, this is going to be a big fight here for Royal Club. They are down. This is where they need to make it happen. They cannot lose this Dragon and just continue the snowball effect onto them. They will have everything up for this next fight. Dominus should be up as well for this next fight. Exploding Casket will, of course, be up. And all the summoners for everybody are going to be available except for Soaz. Oh, and Godlike's Flash won't be up, but whatever. That's okay. So here we go. Fnatic starting to make their move onto this Dragon. You're seeing White's kind of pushing this down a little bit. They're Royal Club not even making a move for it. They're just going to let it go. They don't want to risk it. Uzi Oa's up in the top lane. So Fnatic getting a free Dragon for themselves, and I'm not too sure about that. It is 2-1 in Dragons. Royal Club did manage to get one, but I'm not too sure about that. Just letting them have that free Dragon, letting them get that free gold. And here we come Whites. You see him coming in here, getting the nice chunk of damage on Soaz, knocking him right back into the group. There's the stun as he was about to leap. There comes the Solar Flare, not really stunning anybody. Soaz still taking a lot of hurt here. He can't really go back into this fight. Yellow Star running away from this. You see Cyanide running away from this. So they got some good damage out here, but they burned so much trying to do it. Dominus was used. Exploding Casper used. It's a short cooldown, but it was still used, and they're not going to be able to continue any aggression there as a tower falls down to the minions in the bottom lane. It's now even in towers. And this gold lead is just starting to just slowly increase for Fnatic. Royal Club has to find a good fight here. Blowing a lot on these tanky people is not what's going to help them. Fnatic looking really strong, though, making a really nice showing here. No deaths on their team yet, so there's a really high bounty on Cyanide. If they can kill him, that would be a lot of gold in their favor. If they can kill Zac. Zac has a small bounty, almost. As the Vision Wars begin for this Baron buff, we saw, Royal Club just go all in on these Barons here. They just do the Baron. Let's see if that will come into play here. Corky finishing up that last Whisper and that Trinity Force. He already has it. He's looking very strong. He's 203 CS. He got a 60 CS lead. So, he's still very much even with Varus. Almost even with Varus. Varus finishing up that last Whisper as well. Bloodthirster last Whisper. You often see that build. Those arrows just do so much damage. But they're just doing such a good job of just keeping them in the dark here. And they're going to start the Baron buff. They're going to go for it. They do not see that one ward there. And everyone's going to start collapsing. This is dangerous for Royal Club as they just back off of it. They see everybody just coming in. They know there's a ward there. It's not a very strong ward from Tabe as they start to head back because Fnatic is pushing down the middle tower. They should be able to get that middle tower, and it's just a big blunder by Royal Club. That pink ward not very strong. Fnatic going to be able to push this one down. Not going to be able to get the second one, but they might be able to siege it. Or the third one, they might be able to siege it. Is White's going to look for an engagement? You got Peke pushing down the bottom lane in the meantime. It's at the tower. Are they going to maneuver that way? They are going to maneuver over there. You see, oh man, Godlike moving through the jungle. He's going to get cut up by Soaz. They're jumping onto him all. He's actually wasting a little bit of their time. If they can find a catch here while they're all worrying about Godlike. Soaz is still on it, but Godlike should be able to handle Soaz by himself. The Solar Flare is going to catch Lucky. There comes the Chains of Corruption. Going to be able to land. Repel is going to come up. Oh no! The Shockwave coming in, able to pick it up and bring it back. Lucky goes down. Cyanide passive is pop, but he heals so much off of his passive. It's a 1-for-0 exchange so far. So as looking for the engagement as they pick up yet another tower. It's now 5-3 in towers. They find Whites, they knock him up, but they can't have any follow-up on that. Godlike looking for it, but no, it's too dangerous. Yellow start finding him. Uzi's forced to Valkyrie of the wall. Godlike forced to dominance, but the ignite should be enough to take him down. Royal Club just not able to find an answer in this game. 13-0 as comes in yet again and catches Whites out of position. Whites too far up. He's trying to use that body slam to get out of there, but it's on cooldown. He does not have a blue buff. They're going to flash in. Cyanide with the knockup. The repel coming up. Corky manages to finish up the kill on Aatrox, but oh my gosh, the dissonance able to finish off Corky. Royal Club has to wonder what to do. I mean, they might want to switch the Shen ban to an Aatrox ban because Cyanide is playing amazing on Aatrox today. He is doing so well in just getting these knockups and getting these just positions for their team that it might be beneficial for them to let Shen through, or maybe let Lissandra through, to switch up the banning phase for Royal Club. They were able to deal with the Aatrox last game, but this game is just completely different here. You know, they will have first pick next game, so they will have Orianna available to them if Fnatic does not go for the bounce, so that will be important to them to see what they decide to do. Peke has been playing very well on Orianna, 4-0-7, no deaths on him. The only death is Cyanide, and he died for the greater good. He died for the cause. He died for the cause. Fnatic going to be looking to push this. Get a pick off here. Soaz getting ready to slingshot. He doesn't find the knockup, but he's right there in Benungum. He separates the team. If he would have found a knockup there, definitely would have been a death on Royal Club. Look at Top. He's only got 1,400 health to his name. That's not a lot. Soaz still has the potential to engage. He likes that area behind the Wraiths here. Peke coming in from the side. They have them cut off. Lucky is separated from the team right now. It would be a 4v5 they engage, but they're just going to catch on to Lucky. A Xenoblade is going to land. He repels, but he's got nothing to land. If he jumps the Yellow Sword Cocoon, he does not have his flash up. The Solar Flare going to land as well. Not going to be able to follow up the kill, though. Godlike doing what he can, but they just cannot fight this. Soaz looking for Tabe. Tabe's going to get knocked up. No, he does not get knocked up. He does not have his flash up. Oh, he does have his flash up. He flashes out of Cyanide's knockup. Blade of the Ruined King did come out. Oh, sorry, Blade of the Ruined King. Not Blade of the Ruined King. What am I saying? But this is just going to open up yet another dragon. It's going to be their third dragon of the game for Fnatic. And again, just Fnatic is just taking everything right now. Fnatic is doing so well in these fights that Royal Club has to make a desperation play. You can just tell that they're ready for this desperation. They need to find it. Cyanide doesn't have his passive, but Sorav is going to walk right into them, but he is so tanky. They can't spend too much time on this. They can't spend so much on this. And oh, there's a big shockwave catching four of them, melting all of Royal Club. Lucky's going to go down here. Godlike. They haven't taken down anybody on Fnatic yet. They are on the run, but can they get away from this? There's the triple kill for Pushu. They should be able to get Baron or an inhibitor off this. They're going to go for the Baron instead. 4 down for Royal Club. Exploding Casket is not up, but Peke comes up. He knows that Gregus is nearby, wants to go for the steal here, but this is going to be Fnatic's Baron. Can Fnatic pull off the 3-win comeback? They're looking strong in this game. This game should be theirs. There is a 12,000 gold lead, and here we go. Soaz is okay to face check. He is so tanky, plus his passive, they just waste so much. The Chains of Corruption come out. Cyanide knocks him up, pulls them all back in. Everything just lands for everybody, and that was just the perfect team fight for Fnatic. Peke gets caught out here by Whites, though. The Ignite out onto him, but he is so tanky. He flashes the Shockwave. Blue buff still up. It actually goes to Peke. That should give him the cooldown reduction he needs to actually get out of this with Dissonance. He flashes. He's getting the... Oh, he picks up Tabe! Destroys him with the Dissonance! Oh, Peke is just doing so much damage right now. If we look at his items, he's got Liliandry's. He's got Athene's. He's got the Magic Penetration. He's almost got his Rabadons now. I believe he might be able to get it at picking up the kills that he just managed to get, that Baron buff. So what can Royal Club do? They need a pick. They need a good fight for them. This would be it. They are all here. Peke is not. Tabe is down, though. Got to be careful. They have to pick their engagements wisely. If they don't pick the right engagement, it'll be bad. This will be their last stand at this tower, and they're going to be against the team with the Baron buff. Fnatic going to keep up the pressure in the middle lane. They've got the minions. Peke, meanwhile, is going to be split pushing. He has the confidence in his team that they can handle the 4v5. They're actually going to go ahead and back off, maybe move top lane. They want those towers. They want those easy towers to get taken down. There is one more second-tier tower in the top lane. They have a lot of minions with it, so they might even be able to follow it up to the inhibitor tower. Zach going to continue the split push. There's not much they can do to defend against this. Royal Club, like I said, they need a strong pick here, but they just don't have a lot of damage right now at the moment. A lot of poke damage coming out. Varus able to get those nice arrows off. Orianna with that ball. It's just a zoning tool. You just zone one side, and they can't walk past it. It is such a good tool. The dissonance just does so much damage that they cannot do anything. Varus coming with the poke from his arrows. That one's not going to connect to anything, but they're going to slowly be able to siege down this tower here. They're trying to do what they can to poke and clear the waves as fast as they can. Oh, a big chunk taken out from the Varus arrows, and here comes Soaz coming in, not going to find a knockup. That is a big Orianna shield. And Soaz is just so tanky. He takes a big chunk of damage, but he is going to be okay, as the inhibitor, first inhibitor of the game, is going to go down to Fnatic. They're looking for the fight. They want to find it. If they find a fight, they will be able to run away with this game. They get a huge shockwave on the Uzi. Uzi just gets bursted down. The crit from Varus is enough to take him down. Godlike, he is using his dominance, but he is just taken down. There is nothing Royal Club can do. The health bars are just melting for them. He comes in, White trying to survive. Here comes all the damage out. Peke getting the double kill as they continue on to the Nexus Towers. Last one left alive is Lucky as they just throw the surrender vote. And Fnatic takes game 3. Wow, Fnatic really pulling it out there. They're back against the wall, able to extend the series to a 4th game. Question is this, can they keep it going? Fnatic had first pick that game. They were able to pick away Orianna. But can they pick, are they going to ban it this time and leave something else open? There's a lot of things they don't want to deal with. They might go for the non-Vayne ban and then ban Orianna. I feel like that's what they might do. Maybe not ban Annie. There's just so many. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who plays Annie on Royal Club, but they see it definitely as a big threat there. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to the analysts, let them talk about stuff. So thank you.
In a row, and then Gragas got taken away because everyone was talking about how amazing Nagne was playing. There might be a similar thing going on with Whites here because he got Orianna twice against Peke, and as soon as Peke took that away from him, we saw Whites' impact diminish entirely. Peke did 8-0-2. It's game on again right now. With a win that decisive, we know Fnatic is a team that can streak.
All right, let's send it right over to the analyst desk for a breakdown of Fnatic's clutch win.
Thank you very much, guys. What a game from Fnatic. They're really turning it on. I want to go back to picks and bans. We've got so much to talk about for this segment, but during picks and bans, we noticed that the Orianna was secured. We've seen the Renekton going through once again. And the one thing that I want to highlight that you've got to remember, right, is now, after how Fnatic won the game, how is Royal going to adjust in the next game? Are they going to ban anything else? But let's talk about this game first. Freak, what were your thoughts?
So the first pick, Orianna, I thought was an incredibly good choice. Peke got beat in lane multiple times by Orianna, getting outplayed. So he's like, all right, I'll take the safe laner, I'll farm it out. And they stopped that. And then immediately afterwards, Fnatic grabs the two champions that were working so well for them the previous game in Aatrox and Zac. And suddenly, right, Royals banned these same champions every single time. Lissandra, Cassidy, and Shen. Lissandra, Cassidy, and Shen. Lissandra, Cassidy, and Shen. And here's Fnatic saying, well, How about that Aatrox and Zach, though? Because we're doing pretty well with these guys. We're wrecking Uzi in the back line and not letting him carry team fights anymore because they're diving in there, refusing to go down. And Fnatic are building themselves a competition that's actually working for them.
Yeah, and I just want to point out in Sword versus SKT, so far, in these last 8 games, Orianna is 6-0. She's undefeated. It's unreal, actually. I think it's because she's really versatile. Not only in team fights, but in laning phase, she can always safely farm, and she's actually really lane dominant. I haven't actually seen Orianna lose lane in the last 8 games.
Talk to me a little bit about the level 1. For the second time in this series, we've seen both teams clashing together, this time at the bottom tri-bush. Absolutely everything thrown in, but again, both teams getting out without anyone dying.
Well, that aggressive play from RYL again was an attempt to set up the jungle follow in case they had the 2v1. And we can tell because before the 2v2 showed in top lane for Fnatic, RYL went in and had godlike share XP with Lucky on the jungle. Now, this did set him up for a level advantage in lane, but it set Lucky at a pretty distinct disadvantage. And so Cyanide with the level advantage made more of that in the early game, and that was really a big catalyst that helped snowball these lanes because Lucky's jungle pathing was also not so great, and then we saw consistently Cyanide be at 1 to 2 levels ahead in the early game.
Talk to me about Lucky now, because I know we were discussing it backstage, and you were talking about Lucky as a jungler, his routing, his pathing. I believe he's running at least in all 3 games thus far, so what were your thoughts, Crepper?
Yeah, he seems to be very team-oriented, as in he's willing to sacrifice some of his experience for his team. One game, as Bonnie pointed out, we saw it work really well. They got back into 2v2, cleared the waves together, really good synergy. But now he shared his XP, got behind in levels, tried to gank, but a lot of respect coming out from Fnatic's bot lane, because we were constantly hammering how Uzi's out farming Pusu, but what you don't see is that Pusu is constantly standing away from every corner and edge of a brush, because he's afraid that Lucky's there, and for a good portion of the time in the first game, Lucky was there. He stood there, Pusu denied himself 5 creeps, but he, at the same time, denied Lucky an entire minute of wasting time. They kept playing really safely, and then they turned it on in those team fights, in those guaranteed skirmishes, where Fnatic actually has all the control and all the vision again.
And on top of Lucky being a really team-oriented, selfless player, Tabe is the most selfless player I've ever seen. In this 33-minute game, he ended the game with boots. He didn't sell his items. He only had boots as his items because his 4,000 gold generated throughout the game, he only bought consumables. He only thought in the short term, I need to buy pink wards to get my team back in the game. I'm not going to buy selfish items like a Sightstone or a Ruby Crystal or something.
Well,
and that actually,
Sightstone wouldn't be selfless. He just never got there.
I think he actually just fell really far behind.
Before we get to the replay, talk to me a little bit about this. A 30-minute game as a support Lulu, no GP10, no Sidestone, no HP, and what was it, 4,000 gold in those
Yeah,
wards?
he ended the game on 4,350 gold roughly, which means, 350 gold for boots, all the rest on wards. Basically, at one point, if that's happening to you, you should tell your team, hey guys, I really need to get to my Sidestone so I can keep pumping out free wards, and then the team needs to take over in warding. He just said, no, he probably maybe not even mentioned it. He said, I can carry my team through this, I'll keep buying wards, we'll swing back the advantage. But Fnatic kept dancing around all objectives really well. They didn't give them a single kill up until 13-1.
Well, let's pull up this replay on your screen. It is around about 16 minutes on the clock, and we've touched on some of these key elements about how Fnatic were able to almost bait RYL into a lot of these very early kills. Crepo, talk us through this replay.
So what happened before this replay was actually a dragon fight, or dragon play rather, where both teams danced around a dragon, and Lucky again smiting it away, I believe. Fnatic actually chased their loss a little bit too far in trying to contest that Drake, and we actually thought this is a chop for RYL to get back into the game. But now, this is what Fnatic does so beautiful. They give them the push. If we roll the crypt right now, Pusu is baiting Gragas, flashes away beautifully, dodges or jukes the ulti. Peke flashes over the wall, comes in the back. Soaz and Yellowstar coming in at the same time. Suddenly, from a free push session coming from RYL, they think, hey, we get this tower for free. No, Fnatic surrounds you all of a sudden from all angles right after they got pushed out and zoned out. So that's Fnatic really being in sync again, not afraid of making a play when they're on such short cooldowns, or such short HP rather.
Well, fantastic turnaround here from Fnatic in the third game. They are still 1-2 down, and they have to win both of the following games if they want to pick up the series win here. The one thing that I do want to highlight that I think is going to be incredibly crucial in this very next series is how important this picks and ban phase is. Knowing that Lissandra, Shen, and Kassadin have been the 3 bans from RYL all 3 times. If either of those slip through, do you think Fnatic will grab them and run it with the likes of that teleport?
Well, I think because RYL's going to be on blue side this time, they'll just simply grab the Orianna themselves. I'd be very surprised if that wasn't the play. The alternative is they can let Shen through and just say, you know what, we think you can beat him 1v1 in the top lane, godlike, because he can play Jax or something. But the highly likely thing to me is the same 3 bans in the first pick, Orianna.
I think Fnatic is going to ban Orianna because they're
Yeah, I
purple
agree.
side this game, and Orianna is 6-0 in the semifinals so far. I don't think you can ignore that fact.
I think we'll see a Vayne coming out of Uzi, and then they're probably still going to ban Annie and Zed, or maybe let Annie go through, ban the Vayne, and then allow them to play with Leona as a possible counter to Annie, because they're both going head-to-head, but Leona actually gets resistances.
I agree. I think the Annie ban is the first one to fall, and the Orianna will take its place.
Well, we'll have to see how these teams adjust. This series has definitely gotten a whole lot more exciting. We do have to take another very short break, and when we return, Fnatic will try to make it 2 in a row and force that deciding Game 5, while RYL looks to trump the European champs and draw their spot in the World Final. Don't go anywhere, guys. Game 4 of this semi-final showdown is coming up in just 3.5 minutes.